All right, so the levels elevation report is a report that lets you see the data as it is with its flaws, or harmonized as survey points or harmonized as project base points. So here we are seeing the data as is, and basically that means that the architectural model is giving us survey points, the MEP model is giving us project base points, which are all offset, and the site only has one level called finished floor, which should probably be called level 1 if they were to coordinate with everybody else. And those are survey points. And then the structural model is also giving us survey points. So none of this is really aligning. First thing we can tell are issues with the naming, right? So nobody else has a floor called finished floor. That's pretty easy to see. We see yellow, only the site has that level, and same thing for sea level. Or for example, the roof is missing from the MEP model, and the mezzanine is only in the structural model, and then it's spelled differently for the architecture and the MEP. So first set of data is naming. Is the name the same, and are the heights the same across all of the models? Second piece of information is what kind of elevations those are, right? So it probably would make more sense if everybody were to use survey or project base point, but sometimes it's allowed. Also, there may be a project where if it's really disorganized, they'll have a mix of survey point or project base points, and that can be very confusing and a sign of bad BIM management. Now, here, if we're in Power BI desktop, we'll need to hold control when we select. And if you're published to report online, you won't need to hold control. So it's a bit of a confusing situation, but it is what it is. We wanted to write this here to be more clear. So when we click on survey point and project base point, we start harmonizing the data. And what we mean by that is that all of the project base points have been converted to survey point if they weren't already, and vice versa. If we click in project base point, we'll see all of the values harmonized as project base points. So there's still a lot of room in these reports to show the values as meters, to show the values as actual numbers. When you're writing feet and inches like this, it's not decimal values, right? So these are not numbers, this is text. There's still a lot of room to kind of convert this as decimal feet and inches. And then that way we'd be able to use color code and detect more easily if it's actually the exact same elevation as it should be. But there's already a fair amount of value in here to see, are people naming the values the same? And at an eye glance, without being perfectly mathematically perfect, are the levels at the same elevation, or are there levels that are just way off and shouldn't be where they are? So there's still some room for improvement in here, but also a lot of value. And of course, you can add your own changes to this report and make it your own. All right, that's it for the levels and elevation. Talk to you soon. Cheers.